in Cuyahoga have been on that red list every single week. They now drop off, and so that is great.
No longer in the red. Cuyahoga County is one of 7 counties getting some good news from the governor today, what he says is working and where the new trouble spots are located.
Local radio anchor fired. We talked to him about what he said after the station took swift action.
We are not going to buy Trump anymore. We're going to buy Goodyear tires.
Goodyear workers rallied. Their message for the president after his call to boycott the company's tires.
And no baby boom, the surprising trend doctors are seeing during the pandemic.
And home trends for fall. From animal print to tile and fabric, 3 hot looks direct from the pros. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well, everybody, here it is, Thursday, Friday Eve. You're stuck with us yet again here at 5. My compatriot over here, Jay Crawford. And boy, today, kind of a nice day again, right?
Beautiful.
Beautiful weather-wise.
Beautiful day.
And the best part is we do not have to start with dire news.
I know. Isn't that nice? It's refreshing.
It kind of changes the entire outlook, thankfully.
It really does. Betsy, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to everybody at home. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday. Here's what's new at 5 o'clock, and Betsy's right. We start with good news. Things are looking up in Cuyahoga County when it comes to the state's public health advisory system. You'll remember that's the system that the governor came up with to assign colors based on how things were going in that individual county. Today, Governor DeWine announced that Cuyahoga County has moved from level 3, which was red, down to level 2, which, Betsy, is orange. We're going in the right direction.
Things are working, finally. Well, Andrew Horansky is live in the Metro Parks to explain. Hi there, Drew. You doing a little social distancing today?
That's right. Well, I get to be the deliverer of good news to you guys. It's a beautiful day, as you certainly know. Blue skies, sunny day out here, obviously at the park, because I think we can really attribute a lot of this to people doing things right, wearing masks, social distancing, doing things basically right. Because today, as you mentioned, Cuyahoga County, now one of 7 counties across the state to be removed from that red status. So let's put the map up there right now to let you know where things stand at this moment. It's an interesting change because the governor noted what you see here, this trend that urban areas seem to be going down in terms of COVID cases, while rural counties tend to see things creeping up. Now, as you mentioned, Cuyahoga County down. As 2 Northeast Ohio counties, though, moved up into red status. They include Trumbull County, which is back at level 3, and Lorain County, which is now red for the first time. Speaking of Lorain, the governor said today they're seeing fewer workplace outbreaks there, but blames the rise on community spread from social situations. We've been talking about this. Folks, it's important to take that into account. The governor stressed people cannot let their guard down, especially with students soon returning to school and to sports.
I'm convinced from talking to many, many superintendents and school officials and teachers that the schools are going to do a very good job trying to keep our kids safe when they go back to school. But if there is significant spread in that community, it's impossible to keep it out of that school.
And I want to mention that Erie County also remains at level red, so another county to be watching there. More good news when it comes to visiting moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas and great-grandmas and great-grandfathers in senior living facilities. The governor announced that they will be reopening for the first time since, of course, March. A lot of details, though, on that one. We'll pick up that part of the story tonight at 6.
Yeah,
guys, back to you.
It comes with a lot of caveats, but, Drew, it certainly is a move in the right direction. I know a move that many people have been waiting months for. Drew, thanks very much. We appreciate it. Now, while we're on the coronavirus, here's our new key data. Ohio reporting 1,122 new cases today. That's an increase of 164 from yesterday's number. It's also 56 more cases than our 21-day rolling average, so that's not good. Other numbers, our positivity rate, 3.8%, and while that is a slight uptick from yesterday, it is still well below the WHO's recommended threshold, which of course is 5%. Hospitalizations continue to go down. We're now at 860 COVID-19 patients statewide. That's down another 34 patients from yesterday. It's also, and this is key, down 12% over the past week. Deaths also down from yesterday. There were 36 in yesterday's report. 22 were reported today. Betsy?
In other news now, a local broadcaster fired after using an offensive term on the air to describe the Democratic vice presidential nominee. Tiffany Tarpley joins us now with a look at what happened here. Hi, Tiff.
Hi, Betsy. Well, this one is stirring up a lot of anger on social media. And now we are not only hearing from WTAM radio, but also the news anchor who was fired. So let's take you back. It was last night during the station's Indians broadcast. Kyle Cornell used the word color to describe Kamala Harris. Offended, shocked Tribe fans expressed their concerns on Twitter. Today, WTAM released this statement saying, in part, the term does not align with our station's core values and commitment to the communities we serve. A WTAM listener posted the audio clip on Twitter last night. The station acknowledges Cornell said this on air. I also spoke with him over the phone.
The U.S. officially has its first colored vice presidential candidate. More coming up after the game on News Radio WTAM 1100 Cleveland.
Happening now that we have an African-American woman running as a vice presidential candidate is truly, it's awesome to see where we're going as a country. And that was the gist of my headline. It wasn't meant to be malicious or in any sort of way trying to decimate the character of anyone or any type of people or anything like that. That was never the goal. And for that, again, I'm truly sorry. And
now this comes as the Cincinnati Reds suspended broadcaster Tom Brenneman, who used the anti-gay slur when they were coming back from a commercial break during the first game of a doubleheader. During the second game, he apologized, saying he was deeply ashamed. Now, as for this former WTAM news anchor, he calls what he did an unfortunate mistake, and he will work to improve. Betsy, it's also important to note that WKYC has a partnership with WTAM.
All right. Thank you, Tiffany. Jay?
Betsy, Akron-based Goodyear clarifying its position on political attire. This after President Donald Trump called for a boycott of the company yesterday. Today, Goodyear confirmed that an employee at a Kansas facility did create the slide showing political attire, including MAGA hats and Blue Lives Matter logos, as being not acceptable at work, while Black Lives Matter apparel was acceptable. The company issued a new statement saying it does not allow workers to wear political attire, but clarified its policy to, quote, make it clear associates can express support for law enforcement through apparel. Also today, dozens of people showed up to support Goodyear. Brandon Simmons joins us with more on that. Brandon, good afternoon to you.
We are championing here for the lifeblood of Goodyear.
Today, union workers, politicians, and community members gathered in Akron, condemning a Wednesday tweet by President Donald Trump. Don't buy Goodyear tires, he said. They announced a ban on MAGA hats. The company responded saying that message wasn't distributed by Goodyear corporate. Regardless, Akronites aren't happy with Trump going after an American brand.
I was devastated because he has no right to try to get people to picket an American company that has been strong.
Goodyear has been a pillar of the Akron community for more than a century, and today they have over 60,000 employees worldwide, jobs that Akron Mayor Dan Horrigan doesn't want jeopardized because of a tweet by the president.
We every day, throughout all of our careers, have fought for workers, and especially the ones that live right here. We got to fight him on that too. To me, that's absolute shit. And we should never have to take that.
Wednesday evening, Trump again expressed his displeasure.
What they're doing is playing politics, and the funny thing is the people that work for Goodyear, I can guarantee you, I poll very well with all of those great workers in Goodyear.
Democratic Congressman Tim Ryan fearful of the damage that could be caused by a boycott.
Certainly, there's going to be a percentage of people who won't buy Goodyear, which could decimate a company like this in the middle of a global pandemic because of the president.
Now, Republican Governor Mike DeWine spoke on the issue today, saying he supports First Amendment rights and people being able to express themselves, but he also says he does not support people boycotting a good company that makes a good product. In Akron, I'm Brandon Simmons, 3 News.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, it was an historic night at the Democratic National Convention as Kamala Harris became the first woman of color to accept a major party nomination for vice president. Harris shared her personal story of growing up, the daughter of immigrants who took part in the civil rights movement, and she wove her experiences into America's story. She talked about the work that still needs to be done on issues like race, and she made the case for Joe Biden.
We must elect a president who will bring something different, something better, and do the important work. A president who will bring all of us together, Black, white, Latino, Asian, Indigenous, to achieve the future we collectively want.
Well, another big note from last night is former President Barack Obama, who broke with tradition by openly criticizing his successor. He warned that our democracy is at stake during this election. Now, tonight we'll hear from the Democratic nominee himself, Joe Biden. And Russ Mitchell joins me now. And Russ, you've covered a few political conventions over the years. What does Biden have to do to make his case to the voters?
It's a very polite way of saying it, Betsy, a few political conventions. So thank you very much for that. I applaud you. You know, a lot of times these political speeches at the end of a convention are for a candidate to kind of reset himself or herself after what could have been a rough and tumble primary season, even though Joe Biden has been part of American culture now for 50 years when he joined the Senate. But it's an interesting question, and a couple of days ago, actually yesterday, I got a chance to interview Congresswoman Marcia Fudge about this. She ran the DNC 4 years ago, and I asked her specifically, what does Joe Biden have to say tonight?
He needs to make the case why he should be the president. He needs to talk a bit about what his plans are. He needs to talk about why he believes that he is the right person to bring this country together that has been so torn apart under this last administration. I think he needs to talk about why it is important to reclaim the soul of America and how he is going to lead this country. It's all about leadership, Russ.
And of course, because this convention is virtual, the former vice president will not have the luxury of that big crowd behind him. You'll see balloons. They'll do some sort of symbol there, some sort of semblance of that, but it will not be at all like it would be if he was inside a hall like Hillary Clinton was back in 2016.
That's a big part of this whole thing because, you know, next week the Republicans are going to be doing a virtual convention as well. How much does that play into decision making come November?
It'll be interesting to see what happens. In terms of the future, though, Betsy, I was wondering about that as we all were. Have we seen the last of the old school conventions? And again, going back to Congresswoman Fudge, I asked her that the other day as well. I said, what do you think? She said, you know what? I don't think we're going to see a convention like we saw even as early as 4 years ago. She mentioned some of the younger folks coming up in the Democratic Party who are used to being on social media. That's their platform. And maybe you don't need that anymore. So she's predicting some sort of hybrid as to what we saw 4 years ago and what we're seeing this year. So it'll be interesting to see how all this pans out.
And the times, they are a-changing, certainly, and we'll keep an eye out next week. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comparisons between the two different conventions and how they handle various parts of it all.
Definitely.
Thank you, Russ, for your insight. We'd very much appreciate it. Certainly, we'll talk to you again all about conventions next week, too, I'm sure.
All right.
And a reminder that convention coverage starts at 9 on our app and website this evening, and you can watch here on 3 News starting at 10.
Betsy, today's question of the day: should teachers that have been exposed to COVID-19 who don't have symptoms return to the classroom? You can weigh in on that. WKYC.com/vote now. We're asking this because new guidance from the White House declares that teachers are now critical infrastructure workers, meaning if they've been exposed to the virus but have no symptoms and have not tested positive, they can return to the classroom. Essentially, this guidance is the same in place for other critical workers, such as meat packers, doctors, and police officers. One of the concerns being districts could face teacher shortages if too many are exposed and quarantined. It's an interesting dilemma. Now, Betsy, mind you, a lot of people don't show symptoms.
Right.
So it's very possible, in fact, somewhere around 40 to 60% is the guess, that you don't have symptoms, but you could have the virus. So this is tricky.
And keep in mind, when you are in class, you are in a contained classroom.
Sure.
A lot of these classrooms don't have great ventilation.
No, they don't.
These schools, they're already saying leave the windows open. What if it rains? It gets cold in the winter, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
But I think the thing for me as a parent, as I look at this situation, I am thinking about the teachers.
Yeah.
Those teachers already have a lot on their plate trying to teach the children. They already have a lot on their plate trying to keep, civility in their classroom and keep command of those students.
Especially with all the changes.
Now they have to also mask mandate. They have to make sure everybody is socially distanced. They have to make sure everything is cleaned properly. I just don't think it's fair that how much is being placed on the teachers' shoulders. I think it's an overabundance of burden.
It's a lot. The hope, of course, is that these reopens of schools go smoothly.
Right.
But we've already seen nationally there have been a number where they didn't go smoothly and they've had to shut down. Should be noted, there are far more where things for now are fine. This is something you got to keep your finger on the pulse of and adjust accordingly. Still ahead on What's New, this pandemic has a lot of us doing home projects. We find out what's new in fall home trends coming up.
And the FDA clears the world's first fully transparent surgical mask. We have all the info ahead and clicking.
You can see smiles that way. I like that. I like that a lot. Hey, Matt, what's coming up in the forecast?
Hi, Jay. We continue with the comfortable air on this Thursday, but as we look forward to the weekend, we've got heat, humidity, and storm chances returning. We'll take that weekend hour by hour coming up.
Welcome back to What's New, Cleveland baseball fans. I need your attention. Here's your chance to get something really cool and help some great causes at the same time. The Cleveland Indians Give-a-thon is tomorrow. This is such a big day. The first 400 people to donate $100 or more will get an autographed baseball from a 2020 Cleveland Indian. You can donate tomorrow at indians.com/giveathon. Money from the Give-a-thon goes to the Cleveland Schools, Boys and Girls Clubs, and Breakthrough Schools to help students bridge that digital divide that we've been hearing so much about, Betsy. It's a great cause, and we certainly hope everyone gives what they can tomorrow. Cleveland Indians Give-a-thon.
Awesome. Well, you know, everybody's been spending so much more time at home, and you're staring at your walls that much more, maybe looking at the couch or the pillows that you thought were cute 8 months ago. But, you know, now all of a sudden, everything needs updated. So we reached out to our friends at Ashley Clark Interior Design Group to see what's new in home trends for the fall.
My first trend that I want to show you is something that's been a classic forever, but it's really hot right now in fashion and in the home industry, and that's animal prints. You can do them in neutrals, you can do them in black and whites, they come in colors. even in countertops. I mean, look at that. It's stunning. Yes, the velvet,
Everything.
this on an emerald green sofa, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
Carly's favorite trend is next.
Black, which is forever going to be my favorite trend. We have statement tiles. You can bring in the statement tiles, bring in gold with black. I mean, that's my favorite. We have velvets, of course, and then wallpaper. Look at this lacquered black wallpaper.
Lacquer anything.
Yeah.
Furniture, anything. When you do neutrals, which you'll see everywhere, they are much warmer right now. You have to add texture to make it successful. So adding texture in is a huge component to making it just feel comfortable and lived in. Yes, I love it. It's got that Californian vibe to it, but the texture is key. So if you do it, just make sure you keep layering.
Oh, I have to giggle because, you know, Matt Wintz, his wife, Steph, is an interior designer. And I can only imagine with nesting and coronavirus and all that stuff and being at home all the time, I imagine she's probably changed just a few things in your house, Matt.
Yeah, Betsy, she absolutely has. But she did that pre-coronavirus. We were changing the rooms every other day. I didn't know where my bed was some nights. I mean, it was all over the place at times. But, it's okay. I tell you, she does a beautiful job. And interior designers and designers in general just have such a different mindset.
Totally.
Nowhere close to what I have. So, yes, it's amazing. It's amazing. So,
well, we like what
do you guys
you've
have
done
a
with
word
the
of the
place
day?
right
Does it
now.
involve design?
Yeah, Matt, that's a new background. Did you care to explain?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful view.
Yeah, well, I call this the terrace. This is my quiet spot. But I'll tell you what, I wasn't able to get internet out here for the longest time, but I got an extender and it's still very spotty. So, Betsy, I may need you to help out with graphics, but until then, it's quiet.
I got you.
Okay, your word today is stylish.
Okay.
Matt, that's your weather word.
Got it. All right. Fantastic, Jay. All right. We'll jump into it. Guys, this morning we had area temperatures that were actually down into the 40s in many locations. Hopkins got down to 52. It was a comfortable start. That was the coolest of this air mass. We're going to start to warm it. You're already feeling that today. Temperatures right now a little cooler near the lakefront as expected. We've got that wind blowing off the lake. We're in the 70s. Meanwhile, Akron at 85. And we continue to warm down towards areas of Stark County, Dover, New Philly, even Carrollton sitting in the low 80s right now. The dew points, we continue to watch them climb up. They're still pretty low right now in the 40s generally area wide right now, but they will continue to head up as we go over the next couple days as we bring in a little bit more humidity. And the big picture across the country, we are right underneath a high pressure right now, but down to our south, there is a little area of moisture down towards the Gulf Coast. That moisture is triggering some afternoon showers and thunderstorms and will continue to work its way as we go on into the weekend. And we're also going to track not just that rain, but some heat off to the west as well. That record-setting heat out towards the western half of the country will begin to work in this way as we head on into next week, as we go into the future of not just our weekend, but next week as well. All right, let's take you hour by hour with your National Design Mart forecasts. We've generally got clear skies tonight. Temperatures not quite as cool. We'll generally fall back into the 40s. I think over towards Pennsylvania will be in the 50s elsewhere, but lots of sunshine expected on your Northeast Ohio Friday. If you've got that stylish new outfit to wear, you'll be A-okay as long as it doesn't have long sleeves and a winter hat to deal with. We should be okay as we get beyond tomorrow afternoon as we bring in those rainfall chances. In terms of rainfall, our newest drought monitor's out. Drought is improving across Northeast Ohio. That's the good news, but we still need the rain here. We know that. So your Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast, generally speaking, we've got a nice day tomorrow. I think Saturday's pretty nice as well, but we bring in those rain chances Sunday, and then the heat builds as we go on into next week with highs back into the 90s. Clicking in Cleveland is up next.
Mic check. Kevin Johnson lacerated his liver. I guess not. I also don't.
It's time now to see what's clicking in Cleveland. For that, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Hey, Stephanie. It looks like we have a little bit of good news coming out, we have news coming from Cleveland Browns headquarters.
We do have news. I don't know if it's good. Actually,
Yeah,
I know that it's not good.
I need
the
to
Cleveland
correct that.
Browns, yeah. Yeah, not good. We know that you didn't mean that because the Cleveland Browns have another guy on the injury report. It's cornerback Kevin Johnson, and he lacerated his liver. Ugh. This happened at practice on Wednesday when another player landed on him. The team says he's resting comfortably at University Hospitals now, and the Browns just signed Johnson in the offseason from the Buffalo Bills. So let's hope he heals up before September 13th when we are scheduled to take on the Baltimore Ravens for the season opener. Now, here's some good news. We have been talking about stores closing a lot with COVID-19. We've got one that's reopening. Archie and Valinda Gardner are planning to reopen Archie's Huff Bakery in Beechwood after closing down in March. That was when everything shut down. Both of them actually got COVID in April. Valinda was in the ICU for 9 days, but they are better now and they plan to start selling their delicious treats, hopefully within the next month. And this is pretty cool. The FDA has officially approved the world's first see-through surgical mask. The makers, Clear Mask, say it can be used in hospitals, clinics, schools, retail, and hospitality settings. And it meets the requirements for medical use. But the cool thing about this is that we can actually use it in everyday life too. Now, if you want to buy it, if you're an everyday person, you do have to buy it in bulk, Betsy. Pretty cool here, though. It kind of keeps it away from your face. You're kind of our mask guru. What do you think?
I think it's pretty slick, although I wonder if it's going to fog up because, everybody's glasses keep fogging up with the mask. So that'll be a little bit of a battle. You need a little windshield wiper in there to keep it cleaned up, certainly. There you go. All right, Steph, thanks so much. Still ahead on what's new, quarantine baby boom. This is what we've been talking about time and time again. Now the question is it actually going to result in a baby boom coming at the end of the year? Monica Robbins is a perfect person to dive in on that.
Yeah, I think we're going to be surprised. I was surprised. So we'll see. Also, one celeb talks about why she refused to do any lady chores in a popular sitcom.
And it's Throwdown Thursday. You like that leg lamp on your desk, Jay?
I've had it for like a month now.
Not for long, buddy. Joy Bauer is going to join us to quiz Jay and I on nutritional facts on popular drinks. Eesh.
I don't know if I know anything at all about that.
Water.
You might be winning that leg lamp back.
Hello. Good, how are you? Yes. Welcome back to What's New. I'm Betsy Kling here with Jay Crawford, and we're going to be talking about babies.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Here it is, bottom of the hour, 5:30, and we both have our ding-dongs all ready to go.
Big day. Throwdown Thursday. I've really grown attached to that leg lamp. I do not want to lose it to you.
Well,
I don't. It looks good on my desk.
It looks pretty good on my desk, too. I have to clear away some other trophies, but it's okay.
Hey, I asked Matt this a couple of weeks ago, and you were on vacation, and I keep forgetting to ask you.
Okay.
If you had to rate this summer,
Yeah.
for personal preference, is it a 5-star summer? Is it a 4-star summer? Where?
Personal preference?
Yeah.
Love it.
I'm a 5-star.
Yeah,
I think this summer has been perfect.
It is. It's nice. It's what summer is supposed to be, right? A little bit dry at times, but it has been fantastic. Lots of warm weather for folks, certainly. I've had a lot of people ask me, does that mean we're going to have a terrible winter? No correlation whatsoever. Just wait and see. That's my best answer.
All right, now to our top talker here at 5:30. At the beginning of the pandemic, there were a lot of jokes about a baby boom. Betsy and I have joked about it for months, saying that it's our guess that there's going to be a huge baby boom because we're all doing what? Spending more time at home.
I'm telling you, on my Instagram feed, every time I look, I swear somebody else is announcing that they are having a baby. But as our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, found, it may actually be the opposite.
Just when we thought this pandemic might bring us a bounty of bundles of joy, new statistics come out that all the alone time couples had during quarantine wasn't spent on family additions. Health and money got in the way.
People are so concerned about their health and the health of their families during the COVID pandemic, and they're also very concerned about the economy. So many Americans have lost jobs.
Dr. Julie Graves is a family practice and public health physician with Nurex, an online digital health service that provides birth control and STD testing for about 250,000 patients in 30 states, including Ohio.
We are seeing about a 50% increase in the requests for birth control, about a 40% increase in requests for emergency contraception, the morning after pill. And we're hearing a lot of our patients tell us that they really want to keep a dose on hand because they don't want to have to be going to a pharmacy if they suddenly need one and potentially risk exposure.
Dr. Graves says the pandemic is full of too many unknowns and risks for pregnant women. Waiting may be a good option for many.
I actually don't think it's a good time to start a family. I hope in the next few months things get better, but I recommend that people wait if they can.
So according to the Brookings Institute, the economy is usually what dictates a baby boom or bust. And they predict, Betsy, that the U.S. could expect 300 to 500,000 fewer births next year alone because of the pandemic. And all those people you were talking about on your Instagram feed, well, they were getting busy back in December and January. So that explains it. So we're likely not going to see a huge boom come the end of the year. And it may even be a lot lower than next year as well.
Only Monica Robbins can say that.
With a straight face.
That's my girl.
Is that a medical term, Monica? Is that an official medical term?
That is that. Yes, it is. Why? Yes, it is. Yes, you can refer to that.
Okay.
You can say that to the kids if you want.
Oh, that is absolutely gold.
Monica, I have a question for you.
Sure.
How does all of that compare to the last recession in 2008? I think we kind of blew up the whole thing, but how does it compare?
Well, honestly, that wasn't the question I was expecting.
Oh.
Known as it was the Great Recession. Yeah, it wasn't so great. And we had a drop of almost 400,000 births, but that was between 2007 and 2012. And the birth rate has been falling in the U.S. 10 of the last 11 years. And on average, we see about 3.5 to 4 million births a year. So if we're, going to lose 500,000 births in just 1 year, that's pretty significant.
So these little babies coming now are the quarantine babies, right? When quarantine started, nobody had any idea it was going to get really bad. And now it's kind of going to slack off a little bit. All right, now we have it all in perspective. Thank you, Monica.
I just leafed through the medical dictionary and encyclopedia, and I could not find that term anywhere. I don't know. I'm looking in the wrong places, I guess. Russ, help us out, my friend. It is 5 minutes past the bottom of the hour, and I'm sure you have other stories making headlines right now.
I do. I can guarantee you this segment will not be as fun as what we just heard from Monica Robbins.
But it'd be hard to live up to that.
That is true. But let's press on. Good afternoon, everybody. Thousands of homes and businesses across California have been destroyed by wildfires that continue to burn. Right now, more than 350 are still active, and firefighters say some of them flared up so quickly, residents had little time to get out. The fires cover 100 miles, including the Napa wine country and the Santa Cruz Mountains. The Bay Area has some of the worst air quality on the planet right now. Steve Bannon, the former top advisor to President Trump, is out on bond right now after being arrested today. He's been charged with defrauding donors in a Build the Wall campaign. Prosecutors say he and 3 others raised $25 million for that campaign and used $1 million of that for personal expenses. Bannon has pleaded not guilty. And a Russian opposition leader and vocal critic of Vladimir Putin is on a ventilator and fighting for his life. A spokesperson says he was poisoned. Alexander Volnany was on a flight when he got sick. His wife believes the poison was put in his tea at the airport. The Kremlin says it will investigate. And I'll leave that right there.
Russ, I read that story earlier this morning, and I literally had to read it twice.
Yeah.
It's almost out of a spy movie. And and this is not the first time that this has been suspected of happening over there.
No, it's not. I agree
Crazy.
with you on that.
All right. Russ, thank you very much. We're going to see you in 24 minutes from now with What Matters Most at 6. Betsy?
Well, we've only known about the coronavirus since late last year. It's something to kind of keep in mind in all of this. And researchers still have a lot to learn about it. Now the focus is shifting to kids, who some consider to be silent spreaders. Check this out. Researchers at 2 Massachusetts hospitals found that 49 of 192 kids who were tested positive for COVID-19. They also had significantly higher levels of the virus in their airways than hospitalized adults in the ICU. Some had symptoms, others did not. Now, this study challenges other studies that claim kids are less likely to get the virus because they have fewer virus receptors than adults. But this new study found that while they do have fewer virus receptors, they can still carry higher levels of the virus. The lead researchers say they believe kids are more contagious, and that's where the term, or at least what they're calling, silent spreaders would be coming from. There's a lot of impassioned talk about this when it comes to kids, especially because here we go, now we're going into school. My Twitter feed, very interesting in the last 5 minutes. You get people on both sides of discussions coming at you. But I think the big thing to remember here is that, there's a lot of unknowns that are still happening and being found out, and hopefully, the masks and the social distancing will continue to work the way we hope it will.
What's confusing is competing studies. One says something completely different from the other. Right. It's like wine is good for you. Wine can kill you.
Right.
You choose.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay.
Right. Well, next on What's New, we finally know when The Crown will make its return to Netflix. Obviously, we're going into the entertainment world. Plus, Tracy Ellis Ross explains why she didn't want to do any lady chores on the show Blackish.
And Matt Wintz, what's going on outside?
Hi, Jay. Happy Thursday to you, or as you say, almost Friday. And as we look forward to the weekend, we've got some storms and heat returning, and that heat really comes in next week. I've got the latest numbers for you coming up.
I think it goes without saying we can all thank Matt yet again for another beautiful day. We're just going to go ahead and let you take the glory on this whole week, I think, really, because it has been nice. We thank you, Matt. Thank you.
Yeah, I have so much to do with it, Betsy. I really appreciate it. It really puts my day over the top. And again, I need to put in a vacation request for November through March, if that's okay. Just want to get that out there in advance.
I'll get back to you.
Just so you know that. Okay, fantastic. Let me know if it's available. Holly might have some of those days. I'm not sure. All right, let's talk temperatures this evening. Boy, what a fantastic evening across Northeast Ohio. I went for a run today outside, and the skies are just as blue as they get here in Northeast Ohio. We had the most comfortable conditions, and please just go outside and take advantage of it after the news, of course. But you can see temperatures, we're warming up a little bit. It's not quite as cool as where we've been. We've got upper 70s to low 80s out there. The dew points still very low. This indicates some very comfortable air when you have dew points in the 40s, actually lower 40s across areas of Summit and Portage County. That's almost maybe winter-like. How about that? So your get outside forecast tonight, just looking picture perfect. You don't need me to tell you this. Temps in the 70s, falling back into the 60s by late evening. Just a great night to get out. The reason why, we've got high pressure right overhead right now. That produces a lot of sinking motion in the atmosphere, so clouds can't even bubble up into the cumulus clouds that we had yesterday. But down to the south, there's quite a bit of moisture in the Gulf. Some of that is going to start to kind of work its way in our direction. Again, this time of year, there's no real steering currents, so there's not a lot of flow to the atmosphere. So this is going to take its time. But again, just some scattered rainfall around this weekend. Not a washout by any means. In fact, I think most hours for everyone will be dry. Your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast, you can see tonight we're back into the 50s and 60s by 11 o'clock under clear skies. Bright sunshine will greet you on your Friday morning with temperatures generally in the 50s. By afternoon, though, you can see by midday we're in the 80s, and by afternoon we're in the low to even mid-80s outside. We will develop a little bit of a lake breeze, so a little bit cooler near the lake, and we'll also see some high clouds working in, especially our southern communities off of some of those storms well down to our south. So that should make for a nice sunset tomorrow night. And then Saturday, that's when we really start to increase some of the moisture around here. But again, I think the rain will be few and far between on Saturday. The newest drought monitor is out. You can see we've still got a large area of moderate drought as indicated by that tan color heading through areas of Wayne County back towards Mansfield, even Stark County getting into some of the moderate drought. We could use 3 to 6 inches of rain down there. Do we get it? As we go through time, you can see the forecast over the next 7 days brings some of the moisture up here, bringing those rainfall chances Saturday, especially Sunday. Some lingering rain possible on Monday, but other than that, we've got a fairly dry forecast once again through next week, and you can see the rainfall potential. Yeah, there's some potential for rain, but all the heavy stuff going to stay down to the south and off towards the north. This is common for this time of year. There's, again, not a lot of steering currents, so you don't get these big, robust cold fronts producing rain, but we could certainly use some rain, and maybe the models will shift our way over the next couple of days. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast. Let's take it through the weekend. You can see temps in the mid-80s this weekend. There's the rainfall chances, better on Sunday than Saturday, and then next week, hot and dry as it looks right now, with temps surging their way towards 90 degrees. So I hope you guys have a good weekend. We're still on baby watch here, so I may not see you for a while, but again, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy that sunshine.
Aw, thanks, Matt. And just remember, everybody, Matt is typically off on Friday and Saturday, so if you don't see him the next 2 days, that's normal. And, of course, we'll let Matt share the news as soon as he can. Keep an eye on his social media for sure. Good luck, Matt.
Oh, thanks. I need it.
All right. There you go. That's the music, and you know what's coming. Tracy Ellis Ross explains why she questions doing lady chores in scenes on Blackish, and Dax Shepard is recovering from a motorcycle accident. Here's what's popping in today's Pop Break. Armchair expert host Dax Shepard is recovering after a nasty motorcycle accident that left him with 4 broken ribs and a broken clavicle. The actor discussed the incident during Monday's episode of the podcast, telling fans it was his fault and that he does need surgery. He then went on to thank everyone for their well wishes on Instagram. Get better soon. Lovers of The Crown, listen up. Netflix dropped a trailer/premiere announcement this morning for the acclaimed show. And not only do we see Olivia Colman reprise her role as Queen Elizabeth II, the trailer also teases the arrival of 2 historic UK ladies. Gillian Anderson plays Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, and Emma Corrin joins the show as the People's Princess, aka Princess Diana. Things are getting good. The season will arrive on Netflix November 15th. And Tracee Ellis Ross is speaking up about how she is subtly changing sexism in Hollywood. The Blackish actor told the LA Times in a recent interview that she constantly questions the on-screen choices for her character that are typically done by women. Ross said, "Why am I carrying laundry? Why am I the person in the kitchen cooking right now when this has nothing to do with the scene? Why am I doing the lady chores?" The response stems partially from the fact that her character is an incredible mother and wife and a full-time doctor. You go, girl. All right, so lots happening, obviously, and I think it's an interesting way to kind of carry on conversations that are in everybody's living room. And, you know, it's interesting. You think about that, at least, you know, I did as soon as I read that. I was like, wow, yeah, why is she doing the laundry or cooking, even though it's not a big part of the scene? Okay.
You know, it's their traditional roles, and we have seen through time that those traditional roles have started blending much more, particularly, Bets, in sitcoms where both the husband and the wife are professionals and work outside the home. So everybody has to find a happy medium and a common ground and share those responsibilities. And I think it is a great conversation to have. Something you don't think of, but very important.
Right? All right. I'm glad we agree on that, because now it's Throwdown Thursday. Okay, easy
you
trigger.
You might win this one. I'm not feeling it.
All right, so popular drinks. We're going to be talking about the nutritional impact of popular drinks. Expert Joy Bauer is going to be testing our knowledge on all of this. There it is, the leg lamp. Will it be mine?
It's been on my desk for a month.
Oh, jeez. We'll be right back.
Mine is the one that sounds like the bell. Ooh, that's interesting. Is it echoing around in there? Is there a microphone in there? Oh, that's why. There's no microphone in there. Put a microphone in there, it'll sound like it's right on camera.
We'll determine who wins. So that's our job, Jay. We have to say who is the winner.
I think I might try a new strategy on this one.
Yeah.
I hate to play my hand.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, yeah, it's time. It's Throwdown Thursday, and it's also Thirsty Thursday, which is new to us. Although we don't have any beverage here for Thursday, but we're going to be talking about them. Nutrition expert Joy Bauer, who you've probably seen on the Today Show many a time, is going to be quizzing Jay and I on nutritional facts from popular drinks.
Yeah, Joy recently released a new cookbook called Joy Bauer's Superfood. It includes 150 recipes to help you to feel young. And I recommend that you get this thing because who doesn't want to feel young? I do. Hi, Joy. How are you? Thanks for hosting our little game show today. We appreciate it.
Hey, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun, so I hope you have your competitive juices flowing.
We always do. We always do.
Oh, quit triggering.
Here's how this works. Betsy and I have buzzers. The first one to buzz in will get a chance to answer your question. The person gets the most right. They get to keep this beautiful leg lamp, which is symbolic of Cleveland.
Jay, do you want to do your dinger first?
Mine sounds like a real bell.
Jay's. Mine sounds like a dentist's office.
Or an elevator tone. Okay, Joy, go ahead.
This is awesome. Okay, so in the spirit of our favorite morning beverage, coffee, here's the first question. True or false, drinking coffee is dehydrating?
That would be me. I don't drink coffee, but I'm going to say that is true. It can be dehydrating.
And you would be wrong.
Oh, Betsy, you thought it was too.
I totally did.
Okay, Betsy's up 1-0.
I thought it was a diuretic. That it's dehydrating. So here's the thing. The caffeine in coffee is slightly dehydrating, but when I tell you so slightly that the amount of fluid in a cup of coffee way overrides that. And in fact, when it comes to getting your daily hydration quota, we let people count cups of coffee towards that. Okay. So it's a tiny bit of dehydration, but you're actually hydrating yourself because there's so much fluid in that cup.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Betsy wins that one on a technicality. Okay, question number 2, Joy. Okay. Question number 2.
Okay, question number 2. Which milk has the most protein? Is it A, cow's milk, B, soy milk, or C, the popular almond milk?
Oh, man, as a mom, I should know this, but I don't. I thought you were going to ask about fat. All right.
I'm going to buzz in.
Okay.
It's a total wild guess here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say cow's milk.
Well done.
Awesome, you're right. You are right. So here's the deal.
Explain, please.
1 cup of cow's milk has about 8 grams of protein, whatever kind you have, whether it's whole milk or skim milk. Then next we weigh in with soy milk, which is about 6 or 7 grams of protein, and almond milk really is high in water. That only has about 1 gram of protein. It's still an excellent milk alternative, but it's not a place to get your protein.
All right. Well,
good comeback. Really good comeback.
So we're tied, Joy.
Okay.
This one is for the leg lamp.
Yep.
What do you got?
Oh, okay, this is a great one. So which is the lighter option? The lighter option. Is it going to be a 12-ounce glass of fruity sangria or a 12-ounce can of spiked seltzer? What do you think?
Spiked seltzer.
And you would win. Spiked seltzer is half the calories of a typical glass of sangria. So there you go. You get that lamp.
How fitting, Joy, that Betsy wins it on a spritzer question.
Yes.
I think there is absolutely some
I love
irony
that
to
about
I'll
Betsy.
take a White Claw with my leg lamp. Thank you very much.
Joy, thank you so much for joining us. Again, pick up the cookbook.
Cheers.
It's terrific, and it will make you feel young. That's all I need to say. That's an endorsement and all you need.
Mwah.
Thank you, Joy. What's new wraps up after this. Here you go,
Bye-bye,
Beth.
guys.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was gonna let you win it or lose it.
Oh, whatever.
I was.
Don't question me on sangria.
I didn't know any of those.
Sangria is pure sugar.
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2 3 4. Hello, hello.
Check 1 2 3 4 5 6.
Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool.
A quick cat is the star of our Worth the Watch today. Houston golf blogger Allison Flake is just casually hitting golf balls in her house. Betsy, this is amazing. Her cat actually blocks them from going in the hole. Watch this video.
Whoa.
Not on my watch.
The cat's a goalie.
She's going to slowly bring another ball up. She's going to try it again. I got this one right. I'm just going to, loft the club a little bit, get it over. No. It's like a soccer goalie.
Hilarious.
I love it.
Sweet.
I love it.
Thanks for the leg lamp, Jay.
You're welcome. We're out of time. Join us again tomorrow at 5.
All right. What matters most with Russ and